Hey everybody, so Life Lesson Friday for September 20th, 2024. We're talking about being really good at something. And this is something that has come up a couple of times in the past few days for me, where one, I was interviewed for a basically it's an entrepreneur, young professional type um, platform, and the guy that reached out wanted to parallel my running athletic ability and how that like parallels with business and building a business and starting a business and finding out what you want to be and who you want to become. But also, I've seen a couple other posts from uh, you know influencers, top mindset people throughout the world that are also talking about the same type of thing. And so, um, one thing I believe in is that if you're hearing or seeing something, then it's something you need to think about and dive into. Why is this coming up all the time? And sometimes it may be because you're trying to force yourself into something that maybe you're not ready for or doesn't really fit what you need in that moment. But sometimes it's a sign, there's signs out there that say, this is what you need to go towards. This is what you need to move towards. And I fully believe that we are all good at something. It's always something different. And one of the ways that you know if you're really good at something is because people start asking you for advice in that area. But another thing is that it becomes very easy, very fun, and you want to dive into learning as much as possible about that area, that subject matter, whatever it is. And so when you find yourself in that aspect of life where you're like, I don't know what I'm doing, I don't know what I want to do, there's a fork in the road, like I'm stuck. What is it that you are good at? What is it that comes naturally to you? And and sometimes there's things that that are around that we're not good at, and they clog the vision. And so, for instance, when I started my business, I knew what I wanted to do as far as the coaching side of it and how I wanted to help people. But, when you start a business, there's not a ton of funds available to be able to just throw it, you know, people that can help you as far as like whether it's a bookkeeper or, um, marketing or whatever those things are. And so sometimes you have to do things that maybe are not your giftings, maybe not the things that you love to do. And I get that and I understand that. And sometimes we just have to do those things, right? Um, People that don't like to clean, don't like to do the dishes, if you can't afford to pay somebody else to do it, guess what? You have to do it or it's going to be dirty, right? So it's the same type of thing. We all see that in any part of our life. There's always things that we don't want to do that we have to do before we can get to the point where we can get them out of our lives and out of our way and have somebody else do them for us. And so until we're to that point, we have to do those things, but we're still don't lose sight of the thing that you really want to do and that you're passionate about. Because if you dive into that and you keep learning as much as you possibly can about that, then you're going to be the person like one of my clients told me today. Her, it's the high school girl that I'm training for sprinting, and her mom told me flat out, we were looking for somebody for to teach her what she's not getting at school. Outside of that, we were looking for somebody to help her with her technique, and we posted on a Moms in the Know site, and she said every single person, and it was a lot of people, she said every single one of them said, you're the guy. And so when you lean into what you really love to do and you keep learning about it and you keep studying it, it eventually will become something that you're an expert in, and that people will recognize it, and that sometimes people you don't even know, because I've been referred by people that I don't even know who they are, but they've referred me because they've said, I've heard he's the best in town. And so, I've heard he's got the results that he's got are unbelievable. I've heard that, but they're not somebody that actually knows me. They're not somebody that I've ever worked with, right? And so, believe in and trust in what you want to do, what you're good at. You're good at something. I promise you. You're good at something. You have a gift. You may not know what it is yet. Keep, and I didn't start my business until I was in my 40s because I was searching for that thing that I was really good at. So it's not something, and I mean, of course, we all know the stories of like Colonel Sanders and all these other people that like started later in life, right? So just because you haven't found it yet doesn't mean it's not there. Doesn't mean you don't have something. You just haven't found it yet. Keep trying. Keep searching. Ask other people what you're really good at. Ask other people what they think that you enjoy, what lights you up, right? When they see you and they start talking about something and all of a sudden you can't shut up and you're talking about it and you're just like, oh my gosh, this and that and this and the other thing. And because they'll tell you like, hey, you really get excited when we go into this area or that area of life. Maybe you should look at how, and can you create a career in that area? Whether you're working for somebody else or you're out on your own, can you do something in that area? Because that's a sign that it's a gift for you. So, and there's a place for everybody. I fully believe there's a place for everybody. Everybody has a gift, and everybody can create the life that they want when they lean into that gift. It's not going to be always easy. Trust me. The first several years of me doing my business were not easy. Okay? Part of that is you 100% have to pay your dues. Right? You have to pay your dues. You have to learn. You have to make mistakes. You have to overcome the failures. But eventually there's a tipping point where all of a sudden, if you just stay after it, and it's what you really love to do, it makes it easy to stay after it. When you hit that tipping point, all of a sudden, life may not be perfect. You may not have all the money that you want, but guess what? You're going to enjoy life a lot better. It's going to be smoother, and you're going to really enjoy what you're doing with your life. That's what I've experienced. I know a lot of other people that have experienced the same thing. I also know a lot of other people that are still searching for it. Okay? So just because you haven't found it, don't give up. Something is out there, and you're going to be really good at it.